The Epstein files are going to be released, and what would you do if somebody gave you a bad gift? We're going to get into it. Let's get it! Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcasts, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Aundrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about the Epstein files. Then we're going to be talking about an Are You Overreacting Reddit post about gifts. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. A lot of crazy things happening in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get to serious stuff, because I've been dealing with serious stuff on Tuesdays, the last few interviews have been really heavy.
Yeah.
The Sibling Happy Hour is meant to create some levity, but I also want to give you an opportunity to, speak your truth, the truth to power, your power to truth, whatever it is.
Right. Both of the things.
Both of them things.
Both of the things.
And before we get to the Epstein files, a couple of things came across my social media feed that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is, it was a post of a man and a woman meeting for the first time in a long distance relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Their first ever meeting, all they had ever done is talk on the phone, text messages, video chat, all that stuff. This is the first time meeting.
Yeah.
And when they meet each other, the online boyfriend finds out that she's in a wheelchair and has no legs.
Okay. I mean, it like, I looked at it. She actually is not a wheelchair user and she does have legs. So it was just like a little stunt. But you know what? This is catfishing, right? Like it is like you leave out something material. There is a material misrepresentation. Like sometimes, like certain things I feel like are not a material misrepresentation. Wearing a wig. Or like,
wearing a wig if you bald headed, yes, that is a misrepresentation.
Okay, but like color contacts,
no,
like things like that.
I don't feel like misrepresentation as well.
I don't feel like that's material. If you're misrepresenting yourself to the point where like, or for something that like will impact me, like you not saying that you're a wheelchair user and differently abled, like there are things I have to do to like accommodate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something I need to know.
Yeah, no. Well,
nothing wrong with it, but that's something I need to know.
I also need to know if you're bald headed. Like I do need to know. And I do need to know if you came with color contacts and then one day I see you with brown eyes and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to your eyes? To me, it's all a lie. To me, it's
is it material?
Yes, to me, it's all a lie. Because me personally, when I used to do online dating, I haven't done online dating in God, it has to be like 5 years during the pandemic, but everybody was doing it then because we couldn't go outside.
Right.
There was a lot of women that misrepresented their body types.
Yeah.
And
men too. Y'all.
Okay.
Y'all too.
I probably dudes on there be lying about their height.
Yes.
Yes. Women on there.
You ain't 5'10".
And 5'10" ain't even women like 6 foot. Why would you even lie you gonna be 5'10"? You know you not 5'10".
Yeah. So No.
I thought it was funny because of his face. His face,
Yeah.
he was not amused. And if
No.
the situation was real, I wouldn't be amused either.
No. Because that's something that I needed to know. That I needed to I do it in a certain to a certain extent have to like plan around it. You
Hmm.
know, I got to make sure that we go to accessible places. I have to make sure that I use the right language when talking to you and describing things or like there are things that
Well, what
I
language are you
have to
using behind their back?
well, I mean, like you have to it's just like with people's pronouns, right? Like you
Hmm.
have to make sure you have the conversation of like, okay, what terminology do you feel comfortable with, when I describe you, right?
Mm.
Like what, so like it's the same thing. Like these are conversations that have to happen.
You know what
You
I
can't just spring that on someone.
you know what I think is material whenever you do your dating thing is that
Mhm.
you let them know how much you use the word like because you have used it 475 times within this first 5 minutes.
Because I'm trying to form my thoughts because I'm gonna be honest, ladies and gentlemen, he, she, they, them. I did not read the rundown before we started. I'm in this cold, baby.
Winging it.
So like
Just winging it.
so you gonna get some likes and ums from me. You be all right. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
All right, this is an interesting one. This is not a
Mm-hmm.
topic that was even on the rundown, but we're gonna go here.
Yeah.
Is it material for somebody who's transitioned to let you know they transitioned?
Yes.
See, I would agree, but then some people would argue that's personal.
A relationship is personal. Intimacy is
Mm,
personal. Connection, companionship, all of these things are personal. You can't tell your partner, hey, get out of my business. That's my private business. Like, what are you talking about? We're trying to build a relationship, potentially to share a life, and I got to get out your business? Like, what? That
right,
doesn't make sense.
right.
No.
Because anybody dating Elliot Page right now would
Mm-hmm.
be like, didn't you used to be Ellen Page from Juno?
Yeah.
Yes, that's something that you would have to disclose. But if they're not somebody known, didn't you used to be Bruce Jenner? I used to be. Now I'm Caitlyn Jenner, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they are still Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know what's going on with Caitlyn Jenner. They in a weird space right now. Anyway,
Oh, okay. I have
they,
not in
uh,
any way, shape, or form been keeping up because I do not like
not a proponent for
their policy
yeah,
political
not a
leanings.
proponent for trans people, which is okay.
Very, very deeply strange. And it's also like, again, it feels classist, right?
Hmm.
Like, I'm rich, I can do what I want, but I don't really want to put forth policies that would help or support our trans community in healthcare or employment, housing, things like that. That's deeply strange.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what else is weird or
Yeah.
different, unique?
Hmm.
What would you do
Hmm.
if you were following your significant other because you thought something was up,
Hmm.
and then following your significant other, you went to a grave site, and
Okay.
at that grave site, your significant other had a full spread picnic and crying hysterically, and you found out that that grave site is the site of their former partner.
Yeah. I don't need to be in that relationship, but not because of that. It's because I clearly have no trust in my partner. But but if I did learn of it, right? Learn of it later. I mean, it honestly, it doesn't have anything to do with me. To end a relationship for, a myriad of reasons, that's okay. But for a relationship to end and someone passing away, that's a really different situation. And you can't. expect everyone to grieve the same, to process that the same. But that person, and yeah, I guess it would create some insecurity in you, right? Of like, okay, well, if your partner was still alive, we probably wouldn't be together. I mean, that's probably the case, right? That might be the case. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know. You don't know. But at this point, that person has chosen you. But it looks like this person, from the video, they kicked her out of his
Oh yeah,
house.
kicked her out of the house. Well, part of the reason why he kicked her out of the house is because, and part of the reason why he was following her is because he felt that she was being shady. And come to
Mm-hmm.
find out, she was at the gravesite crying over a past lover.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a legitimate issue with the fact of why would you hide something like this from me? If we're in a relationship,
Yeah.
you said it's personal, right? If we're in a
Yeah.
relationship, yo, that's something you gotta talk to me. If you lost somebody and they've passed and you're
Mm-hmm.
mourning that death, cool. Like that won't be a problem. You keeping it a secret from me leads me to believe, then yeah, maybe I am not the first option. And if I'm not, first of all, for me personally, if I'm not the number one overall draft pick, I'm not talking about a first
Yeah.
round pick. I'm not talking about a lottery. I'm not talking about top five. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the number one overall first round pick franchise player, I don't want you. So get out my life. I tell every woman that. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, that might be the reason why I'm technically single.
That you're single. Yeah. So well, here's the thing. It's again, it's kind of one of those things of like, how do you bring that up? You
I feel
know?
like it should be brought up as you're meeting. Look, in every situation where I start out dating somebody, we talk about past relationships. That's how you get to know somebody. I want to know what you've been
Yikes.
through. No, I want to know what you've been through. I want to know why y'all broke up. I want to know what
I
demons
do
you
not
have, and
discuss that.
no, I want to.
Mm-mm.
I want to know what demons you have, and have you addressed them?
Well, I mean, that is about me as a person, but like discussing past relationships, I think that's a slippery slope. I do not think you should do that when you first start dating someone.
Well,
I
like
don't think you should dredge that. I mean, it's kind of like that, what's your body count type of
that's a
question
completely
where it's
different
like,
question.
no, I just don't. Past relationships, why they don't have nothing to do with you and their relationship is past. And
No,
also, trying to be as tactful as I can. Her ex passed away. Who are you in competition with? A memory.
which is the toughest competition that you can have.
If she felt like she wasn't ready for a relationship, that's a conversation,
See, and this is where
right?
we
That's a
disagree.
conversation. Because if I discover that, okay, you're in mourning for someone that you used to be in a relationship with, the conversation is not, am I second choice? The conversation is, are you ready for a new relationship if you are still this deeply in mourning?
I think both things can be true. I think both of those things can be true at the same time.
But I mean, it's kind of like what's that movie? Tom Hanks, he was on the Castaway, right?
Okay.
Man was gone.
Yeah,
His
no.
wife thought he thought he had passed away.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he knocking on the door delivering a package.
Right.
Well, she's remarried.
Yeah, no, he had to let that go. She moved on.
No, she ran back out into the rain after him.
I think she gave him a
Right?
hug. I don't think they got
I
together.
I don't know.
No, well, they
I
did a
don't
cutaway.
remember. I
They did a
watched the movie
cutaway
a
on
long time
Castaway. Yeah,
ago.
they did a
Yeah.
cutaway on Castaway. No, see,
But what a difficult situation to be in, right?
yes,
Because it is true. I was married to this person, and had I not thought that they were dead, I would not be with you right now. Like that is true. And
but
that is something that you both have to reckon with.
but that goes to my point. What I said earlier, the reason why I feel like it's important and I was like, well, tell me when's the longest relationship that you've been in? These are questions I like to have. I know the answer to.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
How did it end? Like what happened in that relationship? What issues did you have? Like these are good questions to ask somebody because it gives you insight into their thinking in relationships. I'm at the age now, like I'm not jumping into a relationship quick, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
eliminate all those red flags immediately, in the words of Bernie Mac from Players Club.
Yeah.
Immediately. I'm trying to get rid of those.
Yeah.
So when I say talk about past relationships, it's stuff like, oh, have you ever been married? No, what's your longest
Okay.
relationship?
Well,
Not
yeah.
not deep intimate details like on the 3rd of
Okay.
November in 2020.
Right. Because then it's just like, okay, why do you need this level of
No, but
detail?
it's like general stuff like, and that's important. I dated a woman and I should have known better. I should have known, in her mid-30s, and
Hmm.
never had a quote unquote real relationship, real long-term relationship. Should have known, because I am advanced when it comes to relationship. I'm a divorcee and
Yeah.
I've had multiple long-term relationships. So I
Mhm.
know the give and take in a relationship. Somebody who has not gone through that, supposed to go through it in your 20s. You're supposed to, right? If you
Not necessarily. I mean,
I
you could
I
be focused on your education and your career.
I think I was telling a young person this the other day. There's two young ladies, they were 21 years old. And
Hmm.
I said, this is the greatest advice I could give to you in your 20s. Date. Date exclusively, date non-exclusively. Get in relationships, don't be in relationships. You got 10 years, do it all. Do
Yeah.
everything. Date every type of person that you could think of, even if they're not your type. Give people opportunities to figure out what it is that you want. Because you could think
Yeah.
that you want something, get
Hmm.
it, and be like, "Ooh, I don't want this," right? So,
Hmm.
so I
Yeah.
so I was like, figure all that out, and then when you do that, when you meet that right person, the grass will never be greener on the other side, because you've already experienced the other side.
Yeah.
You've lived it. You experienced it. You're like, nah, the grass right here is cool. Every now and then it get a little dingy. I just got to water it. And so
Yeah.
that's the reason why it's important. So when a person is in their mid-30s and they've never had no long-term relationship, and when I say long-term, a year and a half, like maybe somebody's
Yeah.
met your parents, or you've done a holiday or something together, that's something that you need to
Yeah.
experience. You can't go and deal with no person that's literally had families intertwined and get in a relationship with them, because they're just way more advanced than you are. The fights
Yeah.
are different. What you're aggravated about is different.
Mm.
Um, we went on a long tangent about relationships, and we're going to be talking about more relationships later. But I just thought it was funny that he decided to kick her the whole hell out the house before she even
Yeah.
got home. Like, bro,
Yeah.
give her a chance to explain it. Like, she was obviously in pain. Take your pride out of the situation. And if you
Yeah.
love this person, because y'all live together, if you love
Right.
this person, find out, what it is. How did this
Have
person
the
die?
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People give up too easily.
Um, yeah. Have the conversation. How do you feel about the loss? How do you feel genuinely about me and our relationship? Is this something that you're ready for? Am I really truly a priority, or do you need to continue to go through your grieving and healing process before you're really ready for a relationship? Like, yeah, that's a conversation. I think just off rip, just being like, this you cheating type of like vibe, like,
How she cheating with a dead man? This ain't Ghost.
right. So it's like, what are you kicking her out? Why?
I'm really dating myself on this episode. I done reference Ghost. I done reference Players Club. I think I referenced
Mm,
another 80s or 90s or something. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm old, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And let me explain something to
And
y'all, ladies. If I meet you online and we set up a first date and you ain't let me know that you was in a wheelchair and you ain't had no legs, I'm walking straight the hell out that restaurant. I'm not hesitating.
yeah,
I'm gone.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would do that, but it's like I didn't check for accommodations at the restaurant. It can't be my fault that I chose the Sky Lounge, and so and it's not accessible. Like you didn't let me know this beforehand. You should have said something.
All right, we're gonna get into some serious, but you know we're still going to find some jokes about it. And it's the Epstein files next. All right, Jay, the government is no longer shut down. And what was the number one thing that they were talking about during the shutdown that they were going to do? Vote to pass a bill to get those Epstein files released. And they've done it. So Congress just passed a bill. What'd you say?
He in them files. Oh, Lord. He in them files. He in them emails. And he in them files. Lord Trump in them files. I've been singing that for a couple days now.
All right, so Congress has just passed a bill requiring the U.S. Department of Justice to release the files related to Jeffrey Epstein within 30 days of the President Trump's signature, making this one of the most significant developments in the case to date. The move comes after months of bipartisan pressure and public demands for more transparency regarding Epstein's criminal network and his death. Y'all forgot, a man is dead. The Epstein Files Transparency Act passed the House of Representatives with a vote of 427 to 1. 427 to 1, with the lone representative Clay Higgins voting against the measure. In the
Everybody
Senate,
said,
the bill.
hey,
Huh?
yes.
Say
Everybody
what?
said, yay.
Yes. In the Senate, the bill was approved unanimously with zero objections from any senators. Both votes reflect the overwhelming bipartisan support for the release of the Epstein files. Jay, as your song interpreted earlier, states you believe he is up in them files and up in them emails. He being our President Donald Trump.
100,000%. Yes.
I
know it.
I was talking to a lawyer because everybody was like, as soon as Trump was like, just release him, I don't care. Release him. I don't care. When he was fighting so hard, everybody was like, well, you know they're going to scrub his name out. And I was talking to a lawyer friend who works in the government. That's all I can say. Works in the government. Is a lawyer, works in the government. Said it would have to be, maybe with an AI program, they could scrub his name from all the documents, but there are copies of documents that federal judges have and lawyers have. So if he's up in them files, they're not going to scrub it. They can't scrub it. Now, what they can do is redact victims and the surrounding information of the victims. And that may be some way that they keep him out. But odds are, he up in them files.
He in them files. He in them files. Yeah, he in them files. He in them files. And the thing, and I'm gonna tell you what, ain't nothing gonna happen.
No.
Ain't nothing gonna happen. And that will just be the nail in the coffin of the morality, the conscience, and the humanity of the United States of America.
When you say nothing's going to happen, what exactly do you mean?
Ain't nothing gonna happen.
All right. So, yes and no. Remember, this is bipartisan support. There were two people. I wish I had their names in front of me. I know Massey. Massey is the Republican. I forget who the Democrat is. That co-sponsored this bill. Now, that 427 to 1 is a little misleading because after Trump said, go ahead and release it, Mike Johnson and even Jim Jones was like, we're going to vote for this, but we still think it's a political witch job. So Trump saying that gave people cover to go ahead and vote for it. I would be curious to know if he hadn't said it, what that vote would have been. It still would have passed regardless. They had the votes regardless. I don't know if it would have been 427 to 1, which leads me to believe that some people would have some Republicans would have been fighting to continuously fight to not get this released. And then in that regard, yes, I would agree with you that nothing would happen.
It looks like
However,
this. It looks like the sponsor was Rokana, and then the original co-sponsor was Thomas Massey.
okay, but with Republicans like Massey, and there's more, there's a lot more than that are just like, no, we kind of ran on getting them files released, and we don't care. There are some Republicans out there who are thinking like Democrats. Democrats don't care if Democrats is. Look, I loved Slick Willie. I loved Slick Willie. If his ass is up in them files, Slick Willie, ladies and gentlemen, is Bill Clinton, is up in them files, fry him. I don't care. Al Franken.
I don't. That's the difference between being in a cult and not being in a cult. Yeah, I identify as a Democrat. That does not mean that I'm willing to go to the mat for anybody, particularly this kind of criminal. Nah.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not.
I think there's a huge push from people from all walks of life, both sides of the aisle, everything, to get to the bottom of this. And that's the reason why I believe something might happen.
I don't think nothing's going to happen. What's happened so far? What's happened so far?
The files haven't been released, and then they
He
killed
is
him.
a felon.
Yeah, but this is a different thing. You cheating in your business is one thing. You doing something to kids, whole nother thing. Now people are going to start. I've already seen his defenders start to parse the definition of child assault, not the literal definition, but being like, well, what do you mean doing the R. Kelly? When you say young, like how young? So they're going to parse with, well, they were 16, so it was almost legal. That's completely different from 6. No. There is a difference, but no, okay? It's still gross, okay? Yeah. It's still gross, and it's 100%. Still illegal, and they're still kids.
Yeah. Period. Like if you've ever met a 16-year-old, you know instantly that this is a child. Sorry, I don't. Period. You can't tell me if teen is behind your age, like it's not just a number. You know, like 32, 44. No, what's behind your number is the word teen. That's a child.
Yeah. I mean, 18 is not a child anymore. 19 is not a child.
Yes, it is. And honestly, yes, it is.
I mean, they can go off to war.
And here's the thing. I don't know that I 100% agree that someone that young can make those kind of life-altering decisions. Like, for example, taking out tens of thousands of dollars in loans to pay for college under your own name.
You know. That's a whole
or
different
deciding
story.
To fight in the armed forces. That's a big decision to put on an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 18-year-olds deciding whether to go to the NBA or go to college. I mean, you know, it's some people are more mature than
But that's a deep conversation with their parents and agents and managers and like that. Those are, they're not just deciding that on a whim. There's a lot of people counseling them.
This is true. All right, so a lot of the talking heads have been bringing up something that they think is a counter argument to these whole Epstein files being released. And the counter argument is, why didn't the Democrats do it? They had 4 years. Why didn't they do it?
What part of active investigation?
Yeah, I'm going to give the people an explanation. All right, so let me break this down for all the people in the back who still don't get why there's a difference between releasing the files during Biden's administration and Trump's administration. It's really clear. So during Biden's administration, the Department of Justice did not release the investigative files to the public, citing ongoing legal matters, especially because Ghislaine Maxwell's prosecution and appeals. All right. So as reasons that disclose would intervene with active judicial proceedings. What does that mean? Means that Shorty was once in trial, and then once convicted, you can appeal, which means that you can't release information about the court proceedings when there's still an ongoing trial.
Yeah. And potentially bias jurors.
That too.
Right? You cannot release that information. It's an active investigation. And because, due process, Ghislaine Maxwell was able to file subsequent appeals, plural. Therefore, ... semicolon, can't release it. Not hard to figure out.
But why were some documents released, and during Biden's administration, why just not release all of them? Some documents from civil cases associated with Epstein and Maxwell were unsealed by federal judges while Biden was in office. But those were court decisions, not executive actions, and do not include the core federal investigation files.
Mm-hmm.
The files were not released under Biden, mainly because the Department of Justice argued that releasing investigative materials could prejudice legal appeals, violate privacy, and potentially interfere with further prosecutions. The FBI traditionally withholds such evidence unless it's directly related to an active or completed criminal charges. Why has there been a major shift? The major shift came as bipartisan and public outcry for transparency grew, especially following Maxwell's appeals being denied and the conclusion of major related prosecutions. Courts and some lawmakers have also noted that the executive branch, rather than the courts, is ultimately better positioned to release such materials due to the scope of what is held by the government. So they passed a bill. And what is a bill, Jay?
I'm just a bill. Yeah, I'm only a bill. I can't sing too much of that because I do believe it is still under copyright.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, they all got together. Somebody sponsored a bill saying, hey, let's do a thing. And then they vote on it. And then they all vote on it. It's great. And then guess what? It goes up to the president. President signs it. Boop, bop, beep. There you go.
Law.
Mm-hmm.
So for all the people out there, why didn't Biden do it? This is an attack against Trump. No, it isn't. But it is sort of. But it is sort of.
No.
Hold on. Let me get this out.
Okay.
It is
go ahead.
Sort of. What I mean by this is there is his opponents. There is a thing. His opponents do hate him. And there is a push for him to get his comeuppance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not manufactured. No. So this is, look, man, we done seen some of these emails. We done seen these pictures. You connected to this dude. Mm-hmm. You was talking a big game that you wanted to release these files. Come on with it.
Yeah.
Because we know you're in it.
And the thing of it is, how can it be something against Trump, right? Like some witch hunt, when he was the one running on releasing these files.
Mm-hmm.
Him backtracking doesn't negate the fact that this was part of his platform when he was running, was that he was gonna release those files because he was so sure it was only Democrats in there. Didn't think. I knew that dude. I wonder if I'm up in there.
Europe. Yeah, no, he's only pushing for Democrats to be prosecuted. And that's what he told Pam Bondi. Yeah. He was like, go after them Democrats. No, go after everybody. And
go after the criminals.
Yes. And that's the reason why I think things are going to happen. I think this is the start, because even look, him and Marjorie Taylor Greene going at it. And didn't nobody rock harder for Trump than Marjorie Taylor Greene. That was his biggest cheerleader. Didn't nobody look, she was drinking all the Kool-Aid. She was right there with him, everything. And then she was like, hold up. Why all of a sudden you backtracking on all these promises that you was talking about?
Why you being weird to me, Stink? Like, what's going on? Thought we had a deal.
Right.
I was telling my people you was gonna release it. Now
Right.
they looking at me like I'm a liar.
Right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hold up, wait a minute, let me put some pimping in it. So she went out
Yeah.
and she caused the riff. And
Yeah.
I think that you are going to see more people crack, specifically women. Because these men, let me tell you something, men going to rock with each other. And this administration has this thing about protecting child predators and SA, men accused of SA, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know who the Tate brothers are. Andrew Tate is a
Mm-hmm.
self-professed misogynist. They
Yeah.
had a couple of different SA trafficking
Mm-hmm.
situations in Romania and some other countries. They came to the States. When they got to the States, their electronics were confiscated and searched
Mm-hmm.
by customs agents. Call from the White House, got that squashed, let them into
Yeah.
the country. So
Yeah.
all this stuff is shady, and that reporting just came out in the last couple of days. So
Oh,
all
because this country don't care about women and children.
to a
uh,
certain point, to a certain
no,
point.
to every point, because y'all were willing to let people starve in
Yeah.
order
Well,
to get rid of healthcare and replace it with a concept of a plan.
well,
So
when I say a certain point, depends if they think that the people that are being hurt are human enough for them to care about. When the people that are being hurt are human enough for them to care about, then they stand up and take notice. And
I
there are
have not
people,
seen that demographic of people yet.
it's out there. It's
I
out
mean,
there.
no, that they care about. I've yet to
No,
see
oh, a
who those
specific.
people are.
Oh no, it's. You can't say it's these are the characteristics of the people that they will support. It's a case by case situation. In the majority of the cases, they don't support. But
Ninety nine point
and
nine nine
then,
nine 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 percent.
every
Because
now
I
and
don't.
then,
Yeah, I don't know who they. Aside from protecting themselves, I don't know who they stick their necks out for. Aside from Trump.
but not no more. Even his hardened supporters starting to turn on him. So who knows? I think something could happen. At the very least, this could just bury him politically. People
Hmm.
could start to run away, could be like, oh man, you kind of toxic, especially if 2026 these midterms go a certain way. Yeah, I can see things. I can see people starting to turn on him because he's only as good to them. How can I phrase this? He's only good to them if they can stay in office. If he starts to hurt them being reelected, they'll turn.
Yes, because what they care about most above everything is the acquisition of power.
You ain't lying when you said what you said.
And the fact that he himself doesn't realize the extent to which he is being used for those ends makes him even dumber.
Yeah, once again, you ain't lying when you said what you said. And you know what? That's the truth, Ruth.
You are trying to make people say, Bruce, oh, like
I am. I'm
you're really
45. I'm
throwing
up there.
yourself under the bus.
Well, whatever. I'm not too old to see when people are being dumb as hell. And in this next segment, we're gonna be talking about a Reddit post about a couple that exchanged gifts,
Hmm.
and one person was not too pleased about their gift. We gonna get into that next. Jay, you've been in relationships, so have I.
Yep. Mm.
And we've both gotten gifts from our significant others.
Hmm.
Sometimes the gifts are good, sometimes they are bad.
Yes.
Sometimes they ask you for what you specifically want and you tell them, they
Hmm.
don't listen.
Mm.
And they get you something else.
Mm.
Now, that was the case in this Reddit post. She asked, is she overreacting for essentially breaking up with her boyfriend because of the gift that he gave her. Now,
Okay.
just the title, you would be like, yeah, I think he gave you a gift. You should just accept that and be thankful that he got you a gift. But it's much,
No,
much deeper than that.
because people forget it's the thought that counts. And if the thought is not there or it is thoughtless, that's what counts.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to give you what she posted,
Okay.
get your reaction from it, and then I'm going to read the text exchange between her and her boyfriend. But here's the
Right.
post. This is what she posted. I, a 31-year-old female with a 33-year-old male dating for about a year. He asked me a while ago for items that I might want as a gift. So I sent him a wish list I used that has probably 15 to 20 perfumes. He was sweet and got me 3 bottles, but they were from Dossier and not the real product. Dossier is what? I guess the off-brand versions of...
Yeah, I think they sell it at Ulta and you
Ah,
can get similar smelling
ah.
products. Yeah.
So kind of like you go to Target and you go to
Right.
get some orange juice and you got Minute Maid and then you got Target brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
go to get Fruit Loops, but you come home with Fruitios.
Got you. Got you. All
Yeah.
right. She continues on. I think it's very sweet, but I want him to save his time in the future because I don't want dupe products.
Yes.
I want the
Dupe,
real one.
short for duplicate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. She's Gen Z. No, she ain't even Gen Z. That's a millennial. I
Hmm.
want the real ones. But he took it the wrong way, and it gives the impression that he's just looking for a way out anyway. There are plenty of other things on my list that are cheaper, not brand name, several serve a functional purpose, etc. I think his big overreaction is just him looking for a way out more than anything, but I wasn't going to egg him on in a text. Our relationship has been completely fine and normal. I am a higher earner than him, which he said doesn't bug him, but maybe it does. I don't know. Thoughts. So she had
Hmm.
some edits, but just from that initial, what do you think, Jay?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. Like you asked me for what I wanted, I gave you a list of things. So you could have just got something else on the list instead of coming home with Fruitios.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to say there's anything wrong with Fruitios. I'm sure they're delicious. But I asked you for Fruit Loops.
Right.
You asked me what I wanted, and I asked you for Fruit Loops. So all I'm saying is, thank you. This is very sweet. But next time you could just have gotten something else on the list.
Yeah.
I also understand him overreacting because at the same time, she could have not said anything and just never asked him for brand name things in the future whenever he asks her for stuff,
Well,
like what she wants.
she said the reason why she brought it up is because she didn't want him to waste his money in the future. He didn't want
Right.
her to.
But okay, so he already bought it. He already did. In the future, if you see that this is like, okay, I asked him for the thing, he's gonna get me a dupe. I'm not gonna ask him for the thing anymore. I'm gonna ask him for something else.
This dude Mike could surprise her. It was like, I know you had 15 to 20. I only got you 3. Here's 1 because it's a Sunday. Yeah, I'm not gonna ever wear this. Why ain't you wearing this? I mean, I get what you're saying. It could
Yeah.
turn into a problem. You keep getting me some fake stuff. If a woman bought me, knowing I like Jordans, bought
Hmm.
me not Jordan brand, not the
Some
retros.
Gordons.
Well, even if she bought me the Jordans, but they're not the retro Jordans, I'd be
Right.
like, I really appreciate this. I wear retro Jordans. Please don't
But
waste your
that
money
might be
anymore.
something that, you gotta explicitly say, I like Jordans the retros. Like, because I don't know
Isn't this what this
anything
is?
about those sneakers.
Isn't this the same thing? If I wrote on a list, I want the Jordan 11s, and you come back with the Derek Jeter Jordan brand, I'm like, that's not the Jordan 11s. That's not
Yes.
what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like
that's
if it's got
essentially
that
what she
level of
did.
yes. But if it's just like this person knows you like Jordans, so they go get you some, but they didn't get the right kind, that's different. But she explicitly wrote out what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You asked her.
Mm-hmm.
She told you. It was a long list. Could have picked anything. You intentionally went out and tried to find the cheaper version of that product.
So of course, guys in the comments was like, I don't understand what the big deal is. You know, dupe. And we all get dupe products. And she explained very much like you did that it's not the same perfume, just it's off-brand bottle. It's not made at the same factory. It's the way generic cereals are made. Dupe perfumes are cheaper, lower quality, have less longevity. They're limited, right? They're just bad. So she was making it clear for the guys because I was like, oh, I don't know what the big deal is. And she also said several people have asked when this took place, and to be clear, he gave me the perfume over a week ago when we were together in person. I said thank you. Then and went about our days. The entire reason that I brought it up was to make sure he doesn't continue to waste his money buying me stuff that's not going to get used. I didn't want to say anything and him thinking I wanted more. So she kind of commented on a little bit about what you're saying, but that solely isn't the reason why they broke up. I'm going to read the text exchange, ladies and gentlemen, between these two people. She texts, so I want to talk to you about the gifts if you have a minute. He texts back, sure, what's up? She says, it was really sweet of you to get me the perfume, but in the future, please don't get me dupes. I know it seems like it's a bargain, but when I say I want a perfume, I want the actual perfume and not a knockoff. And he said, is it because you want the label? Not exactly. It's more like dupes are inferior products with less longevity. They don't always smell the same. And yes, the packaging too. It was cheaper to just get the dozers. It was just
Dossier,
cheaper to get that.
I think.
Huh?
I think it's Dossier.
We're going to call them the dupes, okay?
Yeah.
It was cheaper to get that. Why does it really matter? It matters to me because there are luxury items that I'm saving up to get or reward myself with. So if you don't want to get me the real stuff, it's okay. You could always get me other stuff. I don't know. This is rubbing me the wrong way. It seems kind of superficial and bratty to throw a temper tantrum over not getting the brand name item because someone wanted to give you all the other ones you wanted. I even read reviews to see what other people thought, and they all seemed okay with it. So maybe this is how I find out you're a lot more superficial than I thought. Whoa, I'm not throwing a temper tantrum at all. I said thank you and just asked for a future instances that you skipped the perfume. I'm not mad or anything. You kind of are, to be honest. When I say I want perfume, I want the actual perfume and not a knockoff. It's Tyler level temper tantrum shit. I'm kind of disgusted by this because in my mind, you are not like this, but to find out you are is unsettling and unnerving. I'm worried that I'm wasting my time. Okay, why don't we talk about this in person? I don't know if I'm just coming across harsh or what, but I'm not upset that you got me the perfume. No, I don't know if I want to see you at this point. I went out of my way to 1, look at your wish list, 2, think about what you have talked about, 3, pick several items from it, 4, get you the exact product just in different packaging from a less trendy company, and 5, get rated for it. At this point, I'm just fully disgusted. If you get me store brand mac and cheese instead of Annie's, I wouldn't say shit. I'd accept it gratefully, but you just had to open your mouth. I think there's a disconnect here because I'm not trying to berate you. No, what you're doing is telling me that what I got you isn't good enough for you, and you care more about the name of the packaging than the scent than you care about me. Then you care about me, which I'd figure since it's perfume, you wouldn't care what it comes in. I said it was sweet of you to get them for me, but I'd rather just save them to get myself as a reward because that's a way of seeing them on my shelf is a reminder of what I accomplished. Nah, how about I just never get you a gift again after you just spat in my face and told me my gifts weren't good enough because they don't come in some fancy bottle. In fact, I think I just saw the real you finally, and to be honest, I'm just disgusted. I don't think you're the right kind of girl for me. if you care more about brand names than what's inside the box. That just reminds me of those superficial Insta whores, and it makes me sick. Whoa, I'm sorry I said anything. Yeah, I bet you are, because now you showed your hand and I see the real you, and you thought you could hide it forever. There's more, but I just want to get your response to that.
Yeah, he read that in the way he wanted to hear it.
Mm.
Right? Like, even him saying, giving a direct quote, I can hear the way he read it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know the way she intended it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you do not have real conversations over text. You just don't. If you have something important to say to someone, they need to see your face, hear the tone of your voice, and receive it the way you intend for it to be received. If it's written down, they're going to read it how they want to read it. There's a classic Key and Peele sketch about this.
Yes.
Where they're
Yes.
texting each other back and forth and they're reading it completely different and getting completely different things out of this very simple text message conversation. So that's number one. Should have never done this over text. Never. Number two, he absolutely blew that way out of proportion. But again, it's because he read it the way he wanted to read it.
Do you think,
not the way that it was intended?
She brought up in the original post that she makes more money than him, but she didn't think that it bothered him. You think that does bother him, and this is the reason why he blew up? Because he's probably looking at that list like, man, I'm not gonna get her this. Look, that perfume is just the same thing, and it's a lot cheaper. I'm gonna go ahead and get her this, and then I spent my money on it. I spent my money on you. That's what he said. I spent my money on you.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing of it is, he wasn't even really trying to hear what she was saying. He said, "Oh, so you just want the name?" No, I'm telling you that when you get a dupe, it is not the same. It's like when you get a dupe purse. It's not the same as the purse that you buy directly from the brand or from, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It looks very similar, but that's stitching off. Like something, there are definite things in there that ain't quite right. So it's not going to be the same level of quality. What she's saying is, and she has very good points, very valid points, the scent is not the same. It does not last as long. It is not of the same quality. It doesn't have anything to do. I want the brand because the brand represents a certain level of quality.
And she did also say that the brand also, she likes to have them on her shelf because it's an accomplishment. It's a reward for herself. So she likes to look at it. And he wasn't trying to hear it, but I'm gonna get to part two of the text. Their text, ladies and gentlemen, it's on my phone. Bear with me, okay? I might need some glasses, but just bear with me. All right, this is what he texts. We have to talk about the plans for my mom's on Thanksgiving.
No, we don't.
Are you ignoring me? I'm not mad about the perfume stuff anymore. I get that you're into brand names and all that stuff. I'm just not used to being with girls who care about that stuff. It caught me off guard. I think it's time we break up. I think it's time we break this off and both go our separate ways. I just don't think I can trust.
Who's saying that? She is or he is?
She is. Okay. Ladies, it's better when I have it on the screen and me and my sister going back and forth.
Yeah.
Let me just say, her response, I think it's time we break this off, both go our separate ways. I just don't think I could trust your reaction and how you spoke to me. He responds, what the F? He actually spells out the full F word. Over one fight where I get kind of upset? Are you serious? So I'm not allowed to say anything or react in any way when you basically spit in my face for not buying you a brand name perfume that are $500? You care more about the label on the bottle of perfume than you do our relationship and everything we've done. You won't even admit that you were wrong. She responds, the fact that you still think it's about the brand names when I told you it's about how you spoke to me is enough for me to know this is the right decision. I wish you the best. He responds back, enjoy being alone for the holidays. Single at 31 is pretty much as pathetic as you can get.
Boy, men really love to throw that out there, but statistically, the lonely people, and there are very many studies out there and a lot of psychological journals, that it's men that are lonely because women cultivate deep friendships and relationships with the people in their lives. And we are not lonely. Y'all are. And you're projecting, and we know it, and it doesn't work.
The whole thing was she overreacting? No, ma'am, you are not overreacting. Let me explain something to you. If something is important to you, then you explain to somebody, this is important to you, and they minimize it in any way. They don't respect you. Because let me tell you something. When I date somebody, it doesn't matter how small it is to me. If it's a big deal to them, it then becomes a big deal to me. And that's what relationships are.
Yes.
Anybody who minimizes you doesn't respect you. Doesn't respect you as they should.
Yes.
Anybody who speaks to you in a manner, calling you Insta whore. Anybody who gets angry and immediately goes to belittling you, saying that you're basically only want fancy
toddler,
things.
A girl, superficial, likening me to quote unquote an Insta whore, which I don't know exactly what that is because the people that be in them DMs don't always be the ladies. but but okay. Yeah, no, you will not. I don't care what it is. Because again, flip it. Flip it. If it had been something he cared about and she minimized it. Right?
Yep.
So no. All I'm saying is in the future, don't you don't have to do it. Like I put other things on the list. You didn't have to go for the high dollar things if that's not within your budget.
Right. And there's another thing, guys. Stop dating out your budget. What I mean by that is that she is more than fine to get the things that she wants that are fancy on her own. I don't remember. Actually, there was one of the last girlfriends I had within the last 6 years made less than me. But the majority of the women that I've dated over the last 6 years, that I've actually dated, that I actually considered my girlfriend or we were in a real relationship, made more than me, right?
Yeah.
And I spent Christmas with one of them. And it wasn't a big deal. She told me what she wanted. I went out and got it. Yeah. Anything that she wanted that she thought would be too expensive for me, she would just get herself. And I didn't take offense to that because we both went into this knowing I made less than she did. Yeah. I still held my own, but I made less. I'm not going to take it offense just because she wants to go out and get some fancy things. And if she asked me, if she put a wish list and asked me, I like this hand cream. It's expensive. You know what? That's what you like. That's what you want. Might be the only thing you get, but I'm going to get you this hand cream and I'm going to get you the right thing, the thing that you wanted. So
I also wonder if it might not have been a little insensitive on her part to put things on there that might have been out of his budget.
Yeah. Because she definitely knew that she made more than him.
Yeah. So did you honestly, you've been with this person for a year. Did you think they were going to drop $500 on perfume?
That, first of all, that's expensive perfume. I don't
even know what that is, because I wear a brand name and I do not pay, and not eau de toilette.
Right.
Mama, I pay eau de parfum, okay? I don't pay that much for this Yves Saint Laurent, okay? So I don't know what perfume she is wearing. That's $500.
I don't know either, but is she getting a giant bottle?
Right. Is it like a big bottle? You know, you can get them the petite bottles of Hennessy, but you can also get the big old right. Like, what are we talking about here?
Because I don't know what they're telling me, but
and to equate it with, if you had got me the brand name, like a generic mac and cheese, instead of Annie's, which, all right, you know, I wouldn't have been, because you don't care about that. She cares about this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's willing to just buy it for herself.
That's all she did.
You could have just got something else on the list.
Look, I just don't know why he thought coming in there with the off-brand stuff was going to fly. What was he thinking? What was he thinking?
I've had worse. I've had much worse.
That you've asked specifically for a specific thing?
No, I didn't even ask for anything. So the fact of the matter is, you could have just not got me anything, but you chose to go in your mama's room and grab some Bath and Body Works she hasn't used before and put it in a bag and give it to me, and then tell me that's where you got it from.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you know.
I know exactly.
Because the way I put that bag down.
Now, Bath and Body Works got some good stuff, not cologne and perfume, but the body lotion.
Oh my God, we talking that stuff $20.
Yeah.
You couldn't have gone there and picked something out for me.
Right.
Also, I didn't ask you for anything, so you could have just done nothing. You could have got dinner. Could have got me some flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a little and I would have appreciated that. But then to tell me like that was some sort of, see, that was smart, right? Oh, you dumb as hell.
Yeah, well.
And I'm dumb as hell.
I was getting ready to say that.
We both two dummies.
Two dumbasses.
No business being together.
Jay, what do you want to tell the people out there?
Oh, boy. You know who your partner is. Don't ask for something you know that's out their budget. Number one. And number two, it ain't tricking if you got it. If you don't come up with your own creative idea in your budget. You don't have to go overboard, especially for someone who didn't even ask for it, right? You asked, right? So just come up with something else, something thoughtful. Please remember, it is the thought that counts. And if there is no thought, that shit don't count.
That's a way to drop a bar. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.